And try that. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Spotlight. This is our weekly get together where we take a look at current and upcoming events from the mouths of their organizers. We take a look at local service providers that wish to let us know what they're up to. And today I'm really, really excited because we were approached by someone from the International Friendship Club to tell us about their programs. And today we are going to have such a person, but she seems to have disappeared. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to hope that this is just a temporary glitch, and that we'll have someone from the IFC join us momentarily. While this is happening, I will take the opportunity to welcome each and every one of you watching. And I see I have a itchy nose. Don't mind me. Maybe I'll sneeze, maybe I won't. But I see beautiful people that I know and love. Hello, Albert. Hello, Sherry. Hello, Beth. Beth Tesler from Minnesota. It is so great to see you. Who else is here? Karen and from Minnesota, and Joe Willis and Betsy Ann. Let's see, Albert. We already said hello to. Albert is drinking mezcal. That's beautiful. And Zizi is here. It is great to see you as well. I hope you're all excited about your women's event that you're going to have. And I'm still waiting to see what happened to our friends from the International Friendship Club. Hopefully it's nothing serious. We were going to be joined by Sydney Clark, who was going to tell us about their fundraising event. So this is what we're going to do. As long as I don't see Sydney here, I'm going to take advantage of the fact that that Zizi is here. And you know what I'm going to do? I am going to, I thought I could do this just like that. Zizi is very excited about all the salespeople. Do you want to come on board, Zizi, and tell us about what's going on? Because if you want to do that, I can try to send you I can try to post you. No, you need to be logged in with the other, oh, never mind. I'm just confused and a little concerned that we lost our friends from the Friendship Club. But I do want to take advantage as well to talk a little bit about my upcoming presentation. So let me do that while we're waiting for our friends from the International Friendship Club to reappear. Let me tell you that my next music appreciation presentation, of course, is Mambo Madness. And Mambo Madness I'm really excited about because mambo music is very dear to my heart. And it's music that has been really important for some time. It appeared in the 1940s, although I'm sure it appeared earlier than that, in Cuba. And from Cuba, it jumped over to Latin America and then it jumped up to the United States. It has had a lot of influence in cultural influence. It has had it has helped popularize Latin music. It has influenced dance. It has fused with other genres, particularly jazz, and it is a great way for many cultures to feel culturally associated or together through music. So this is going to be our Mambo uh, get together on Thursday, July 11, and then my second presentation for the month came as an odd idea. It's called Notes from the Heart, a birthday celebration, and it has to do with the fact that yes, July is my birthday month, and I'm very excited about that. I always get excited about birthdays. So this month, what I decided to do for my birthday is to do what I love the most, which is to talk about music. So, there she is. I will come back to myself. Here she is. I'll finish talking about myself in another moment. But hello, Sydney. Everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fine, Paco. Thanks for having me.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Well, I'm sorry you went away. I hope your connection is fine and all is good.
Yeah, I think it is. It says it's back on, so we'll see.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed, and I'm going to turn it over to you. And please tell us what brings you to the spotlight today.
Well, I am the past president and our actual primary charity is we're a social club and a charitable organization. And one of our primary charities is the Cleft Palate Assessment and Surgeries. And we are actually having a cleft palate clinic, bringing doctors from Guadalajara on July 10th. And the doctors should be with us in the afternoon of July 10th. And at that time at the clubhouse, they will do an assessment of the patients that have been notified. And then they will decide who is eligible for surgery the following day. And then on Friday, they will do a follow up with those patients. And then they will fly back to Guadalajara.
Okay, let's.
So it's a program that's
Yes, go on.
okay. It's a program that we've been doing for almost almost 40 years. Our 40th anniversary will actually be next year. So this is our 39th cleft palate and assessment clinic.
And for those of us that have not been paying attention, please explain a little bit more about cleft palate. What is it? Who does it affect? And why is it important? And why should people consider supporting this cause?
Okay. Well, if a child is born with either a cleft lip or a cleft palate, which means that their ability, largely it's their ability to swallow, and sometimes it affects their ability to breathe, they aren't really going to have a great quality of life. And particularly if an infant can't swallow, then they really have very little chance of surviving. So the clinic, uh, so the surgeries correct that. And it's a very, very specialized surgery. There are only very few plastic surgeons who are skilled in this. They have to be a pediatric, and I think the other term is macrofacial surgeon, And so just any plastic surgeon can't do the job. Dr. Ezekiel Fuentes has been with the program since its inception in 1985, and he has been just an amazing person coming. Initially, he used to come 4 times a year. Now it's more like 3 times a year. And he brings a team with him, a surgical team with him from Guadalajara. And then CMQ Hospital here in Vallarta donates a surgical space and sometimes donates an anesthetist. Sometimes they donate some of the materials that they need, but largely we pay for the medical supplies, etc.
How many children can be um I cannot think of how many
Seen.
children can be fortunate enough to have this procedure on any given visit?
Okay, well, we had one in April, and I think there were 7 or 8 children who were lucky enough to have surgery. And other times, it depends on the complexity of the surgery. Sometimes a surgery takes hours and hours, in which case only 4 or 5 children will be seen and will be treated. Um, in April, I think there were a few that were somewhat more simple, and so he was able to do more surgeries. But each time he'll assess the patients that he's seen in the past. And one of the great things about our program is that once someone has been accepted into the program, because cleft palate isn't corrected just with one surgery, it's over time that the people will have to have several surgeries as they grow and mature. And they also have to have follow-up orthodontal care so that there are certain apparatus that are created to also help the mouth form properly and allow the children to eat and breathe properly. So it's astonishing what happens.
That is absolutely wonderful. I see some important questions. I know that we'll get into donations and all that stuff, so I'm going to skip Joe Willis's question. But Liz asks, why has the frequency diminished? Funding or patients?
Uh, Certainly, there have been lots of patients. Our surgeon is now in his 70s, and it
Ah,
has been really hard for him to find another surgeon who is qualified enough to. And also, our surgeon has very, very high standards. So it's been really hard for him to find someone whose work uh, equals his, and also someone who's even qualified and able to do this work. So he had a couple of years ago, he had some surgeries himself, and and so we had only one clinic 1 year. During the COVID year, we had none, of course.
understandably.
And then we got back to 3 clinics last year, and we're going to have 3 clinics this year. So no, there sadly it isn't a lack of patients. It's a lack of medical expertise who can partner with Dr. Fuentes. I know he's working on trying to bring up someone who can ultimately take over, but it's a tough slog.
I can imagine. Let's talk a little bit about how people can help. Of course, Joe has asked, do you take donations to the program, monetary or supplies? I happen to find this post from your Facebook campaign, and it says here, we are in need of personal hygiene items such as toothpaste, toothbrushes, soap, shampoo, baby clothes, and small stuffed animals to hand out to all the families who attend the clinic. Donations may be dropped off at the clubhouse between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. Monday through Friday. If you are not in Puerto Vallarta, our volunteers will shop for you. Your donation will be used to purchase these items, and you have a way for people to donate. When you're looking for donations, is there a target, or you're just accepting donations openly? Like, do you have like a goal for each patient, or how do you manage your donations?
So what we normally do, Paco, is we budget um, in January when we do our when we have our annual general meeting. We have a certain amount of monies that we set aside for the clinics, and that amount is usually has been in the past 50,000 pesos per clinic. And that pays for medical supplies, it pays for the doctor's transportation, it pays for feeding the people as they're waiting to be assessed at the clinic. It pays for a variety of things like that. The problem is this year, with the second clinic, we will have used up our entire budget for the year. So we are, in fact, in the process of having a fundraising campaign where we were hoping to raise 100,000 pesos for our third clinic in November. And we are at, I think, just over 80,000 pesos. The membership has been extremely generous. So for sure, we could definitely use another few or another, you know, 20 to 30,000 more pesos so that we can really um, facilitate that clinic. Plus, we're planning to have three more clinics in 2025. So the money will, when it's targeted for cleft palate, that is where it goes. It doesn't go to any other charity. It doesn't go to any other, clubhouse expenses or any other programs. It goes directly to cleft palate.
I'm glad you bring up the clubhouse because, of course, there are people that may or may not be familiar with it. In fact, Karen Miller is asking, where is the clubhouse? Those of us that live here year round, of course, know where you're located. But why don't you take a second? Just imagine that somebody is meeting you for the first time
Exactly.
and has no idea what the IFC does. Can you walk us through that for a moment?
Okay. One of the best landmarks to find the clubhouse is Vallarta uh, Factory, which is at the corner of Insurgentes and Libertad, right in Centro. And it is directly opposite where you walk up the stairs to go into our clubhouse. We used to have another great landmark, which was the HSBC Centro branch that only closed this past winter. So you can't really use that as a landmark anymore. But Vallarta Factory, where you can get some great meals. Not that I'm advertising for them, but they do have really good food, and they've been very supportive of IFC in the past. Um, Go across Insurgentes, go up the stairs. Um, the other thing that's in that same building is Prulex, which is a language school, a private language school. And we also have a second entrance, which is on Calle Guerrero, which is one street over from Libertad. And you can walk in and find the clubhouse there as well.
Here's a question from someone that I know to work closely empowering
Oh dear,
children and
I
young
can't hear
people.
you. You've frozen on me.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Okay, you're back,
can you hear me?
I think. Yes, I can.
Okay, so here's a question from my dear friend Jess, who empowers children in many ways. And she says, your foundation sounds amazing. Does your foundation provide additional services or referrals to help with adaptive feeling, scar management, or any other areas of need after surgery? This is probably dependent on your budget.
It is a little bit dependent on our budget, but we do have an orthodontist and we do have a speech therapist, both of whom are sort of on retainer and work with the children and the families afterwards.
Okay. And there's another question here from our dear friend Michael Bufford, who says, how much was needed to complete the 100,000 budget? I missed it, he says.
Oh, we need another 20,000, 20 to 30,000 to complete that, but we're always happy to raise more. I mean, we set a target of 100,000, but if we exceed that, that would be awesome.
Of course. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Now, here's something else that you guys do. And I don't know if the income is tied to this program, but the International Friendship Club also does the home tours for charity. Do you want to talk a little bit about this, even if it does not
Oh,
directly affect?
it absolutely affects the cleft palate clinic, and it also affects the other. We also support about 20 other charities in town. The home tours run. Oh,
Yes, I want to stop you for a second because Michael Bufford of Bravos and SciMPV has just posted send April or Bill tomorrow or this week, and we will cover that 20,000 pesos.
oh my gosh! Oh, Michael, that is so wonderful of you. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
that is amazing. And thank you, Paco, for facilitating this so that that could happen. I should mention that April and Bill Mighton are amazing people. They have been volunteering with these specific cleft palate clinics for years and years, decades, longer than I have been involved with the club, actually. I joined the club about 9 years ago, and April and Bill have been involved with facilitating the cleft palate clinics. They and they are also very close to Michael and Bravo's restaurant and Cyan. That's
I got all
amazing. Thank you so
excited.
much.
I got all excited. This
So did
gives
I.
Thank you so much, Michael, and I am so happy that you are here with us today, uh, both Michael and you, Sydney, because this is what we aim for, to create nurturing connections, and I am so grateful about this. And I rudely interrupted you, but this seemed like really worth interrupting. But please tell us a little bit more about the home tours for charity.
Okay, well, the home tours are our number one fundraiser with the club, and they run during high season. We begin sometimes at the end of November, but certainly by the beginning of December. And prior to Christmas, we will run usually 4 tours. And then after New Year's, we run until the week before Easter, until Semana Santa. The tours run twice a week, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And generally, you can expect to see behind closed doors of 3 or 4, usually it's 4 fabulous homes in Puerto Vallarta that you would never see um, if unless you were personal friends of the people whose homes are so generously opened. We are so grateful for our homeowners who allow us to run these tours. The tour, where you meet the tour, is at the Sea Monkey Restaurant on Achilles Cerdan, just opposite, just underneath Vista del Sol condos and opposite from Agua, Molina de Agua condominiums.
Uh-huh.
And we're also so grateful to Sea Monkey for allowing us to continue to host our tours from there. They've been a great partner for us. And the tour generally lasts about 4 hours. The buses leave at 10:30 in the morning. We go as south as as Boca de Tomatlan, sometimes Mismaloya. We go as far north as Gaviotas, and this year we had some homes in the marina. Generally, though, we try and make sure that we are including something fabulous in Conchas Chinas, upper and lower, and also Amapas. We have some fantastic homes in Centro. We also this year added a few of the really cool art galleries in town. So it's so great. It's run entirely by volunteers, and they are the most enthusiastic people you could meet. And they're so polite, they're so passionate about what they do, they're so careful about people's safety. I have to say that people with mobility issues would have challenges on this tour because, as you know, some of these homes up in Conchas Chinas are on very steep hills and, that kind of thing. But man, oh man, it is so worth it. If you are even remotely voyeuristic, go on one of these tours because they're fantastic. And there are only 900 pesos per tour. And so what we do is we show the same homes on Tuesday and Wednesday. Then the following week we change it. So if you're in town for maybe 3 weeks and you want to go on 3 tours during the time that you're here, you won't see the same homes in those 3 weeks. We make sure that we change it up. We have an amazing team. Our lead volunteer coordinator, Beth Tesler, does an incredible job. And our home tours coordinate, the gal who schedules the tours, Giselle Kane, also does an incredible job because it's really hard to juggle these homes because sometimes they're rented out, sometimes the families are there. So trying to, facilitate all of that is a real challenge, but they get it done.
There is a great comment here from our friend Derek Harkner. Um,
Oh,
and Derek says, I am going to have to order from SciMPV soon to do my part. Thanks, Michael. This is a great way to also give back. For those of us that can give directly to the International Friendship Club, let us try to do this. But there's also the I think the moral responsibility to give back to businesses such as Michael's. And I'm happy to announce something that we've been talking about in Coffee and Headlines. Our next mini meet and greet is going to be at SciMPV in Los
oh,
Tules.
great.
And it's just a matter of scheduling it and making it happen. But I've been a huge admirer of Michael's, and he's been very generous also to my projects. So it is also a great way to pay forward and to give back to our own community. Tell me something, Sydney. I've been posting your website on the screen so that people can find ways to
Thank you.
uh, get closer to you guys. Are we missing anything? Is there something that we haven't touched base upon that is really important for you to convey to the audience that is generously spending some time with us today?
Well, I would also like to mention the fact that we are a so-called social club. However, it's social and educational. So if you were to be a member of our club, and we have information about becoming a member, you would uh, you would get discounts on Spanish lessons. We have a fantastic Spanish teacher who teaches in high season and often continues into low season online with her students. We have lectures, we have yoga and meditation, we have art classes, we have so many, we have bridge lessons, and we have social bridge. There are so many different activities that are part of that aspect of the International Friendship Club. And those also help to, they don't fund the charities. What they do is, the idea is that those activities keep the clubhouse up and running, and then it's the home tours and other targeted campaigns that support our charitable endeavors.
Well, I am so grateful that we've had time to have this connection today, Sydney. It was a pleasure meeting you at my latest music appreciation presentation. I was really touched that you came and
I
showed up.
really
It is
enjoyed it. I learned so much, Paco. It's fantastic.
Well, you know where to find me just about every other Thursday. You know, we're always excited to create connections through music. I happen to think that music has the power to heal and just inspire in so many ways. So that's my little contribution, I
Oh,
suppose.
I totally agree.
And I'm particularly just thrilled that this connection happened today. I want to thank you for spending time with us. And I want to thank Michael Beaufort for this generous, generous gift that to I'm going to spread the word all over the place because it's beautiful. And Zizi, who's also in the audience today, says that remembers that you all met during my last music appreciation
Oh,
presentation.
that's true. That's true.
Yes.
And I thank you, Paco, for this opportunity. I think this is such a great way to reach out to people who may not know anything about us and may not know about our programs. And so I thank you for facilitating that. And I haven't even had a vodka yet.
Well, I am certain, more than certain, that you gained a few new followers today. So I want to thank you again for being here. I'm going to leave your website on the screen a little longer so that people can find you and people can connect through you either through your website or also through your Facebook page, which you maintain very
Fantastic.
actively. Thank you
Thank
very
you
much,
so much.
Sydney, and congratulations on that unexpected
Yes.
gift. May
And
it
thank you,
multiply
Michael.
many times.
Thank you so much, Michael. And thanks, Derek, for being on the call. I know Derek.
I'll talk to you soon, Sydney.
Thank you so much, Paco. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Wow, that was so sweet. That was so sweet. And let me just take a couple of extra seconds to finish what I was telling you about my birthday music appreciation presentation. This will have less to do with my birthday and more with my gift to myself is gifting you with wonderful music that has driven me crazy in the best possible way. I am talking about music that has touched me in such a way that I wish I could find a way for you to hear it the way I hear it. So I have selected about 10 pieces of music. Some of it is jazz, some of it is pop, some of it is country, some of it is classical. And I'm going to try my damnedest to convey why this music has moved me the way it has. And contrary to my usual music appreciation presentations, which are 300 pesos, this one is going to be pay what you want. So if you cannot afford it, I want you there anyway. If you can afford it, hey, that's wonderful. But ultimately, what I want is to be surrounded by as many people that want to be enlightened to the wonderful, inexplicable power of music and how it can improve our lives. So there you have it. This has been today's presentation. I am looking at all kinds of wonderful comments of gratitude from everyone. I am just so incredibly grateful that we can create these types of connections here at the Spotlight. And with that thought, I am going to remind you that we will be here a week from today at the same time. Sydney, stay put because I would love a couple of moments today with you um, after I sign off. So don't go anywhere if you can hang on for a couple of minutes. For everybody else, please spread the word. Again, we are doing the spotlight just out of goodwill, just to create as many connections as we can. And we will always keep it that way. It will always be free for event organizers and for people that are promoting their products and services. So once again, thank you for joining us today. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning at Coffee and Headlines if you watch. And if not, I hope to see you sometime in the near future. Sydney, stand by. Everybody else, I will see you soon.